Hello world, Liu here, and today we'll be putting into practice the stuff that we have learned over the past few sessions, mainly the print and input functions, the basic data types, and typecasting. So there'll be 4 simple practice questions for you to attempt, and the answers and explanations will be available in the later half of this video. However, do try to not peek at the answers before solving them. So firstly, write a Python script that prompts a user for his age and prints the following output. So here we can assume that the current year is 2023, and if the user enters 30, we will know that the user is born in 1993, and therefore we print this string here. Similarly, if our user enters 20, we will know that he is born in 2003, and hence we print the string here. For our second practice question, write a Python script that prompts the user for 3 numbers and print out the average of these 3 numbers. So here, let's say the user enters 4 for the first number, 5 for the second number, and 6 for the third number. The string that we want to print out would be the average of 3 numbers is 5.0. And for our third practice question, write a Python script that prompts the user for a string and a number. Our script will then print the following pattern according to the string and number. So if we enter A as a string and 5 as the number, we will simply print A 5 times. So A. Conversely, if we enter apple as our string and we enter the number 3, we will print apple 3 times consecutively. So we get apple, 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 but without spaces in between. And for our fourth practice question, write a Python script that prompts the user for 2 strings. It then prints the following pattern based on the 2 strings. So let's say our user enters the first string A and the second string B. So we have A dash B dash A dash B dash A. Conversely, if our user decides to enter apple for the first string and orange for the second string, we get apple dash orange dash apple dash orange dash apple. So do take some time to attempt these questions before taking a peek at the answers. So here, we need to first prompt our user for his age. So let's name our variable age, and it's equals to input, enter your age. So now let's just print age first. And if we run our code, we will get this. So let's just enter 30 and we'll simply get 30. So next, let's add the your age is string. So here we have your age is space plus age. And if we run this, we will get your age is 30. And next, let's try to add in the birth year. So plus, and next we have a comma, space, and you were born in space something. So here, let's print this first. So 30, your age is 30 and you were born in something. So let's make sure we can print this something first. So let's create a new variable, birth year is equals to 2023 minus age. However, remember that our input function will always return a string. And right now, age is a string. So before we can do any proper integer subtraction, we need to first convert this into an integer. So next, let's print birth year and let's see what happens. So 30, your age is 30 and you were born in 1993. So here we have the correct birth year and let's attempt to add it here. If we run this, we will get an error. So right now, birth year is actually an integer. And here, we just try to add it with a string. So before we can do that, we need to convert birth year back into a string. And if we run this, 30, we will get your age is 30 and you were born in 1993. So now we can remove this line and our code is complete. So let's say 30 and we have the correct output. And if we run it again with 20, we will also have the correct output. So here, because we need to prompt our user 3 times, let's create 3 variables. So n1 is equals to input, enter first number, n2 is equals to input, enter second number, and n3 is equals to input, enter third number. So afterwards, let's print N1, N2, and N3 first. And if we run our code here, let's say 4, 5, and 6, we'll simply get 4, 5, and 6. Next, we need to figure out how to get the average of these three numbers. So once again, the input function will always return a string. So before we can add them together as integers, we need to convert all of them to integers using typecasting. So here we create sum of n is equals to integer n1 plus integer n2 plus integer n3. And let's say we print sum of n. So let's say we enter 4, 5, and 6, and here we will have 15. And afterwards, we need to find the average of these three numbers, and we can do that by dividing the sum by 3. So AVG is equals to sum of n divided by 3. So now if we print AVG, so if we run this code, 4, 5, and 6, we will get 5.0. So here, we simply need to add the string. Average of three numbers is space plus, and here, remember that average is a number. So before we can add it with a string, we first need to convert this into the string type. So if we run this once again, 4, 5, and 6, we'll get average of three numbers is 5.0. So here, we need to prompt our user for a string and a number. So let's do that. So string is equals to input, enter a string. And number is equals to input, enter a number. And next, we want to repeat our string by number times. So we can do that by multiplying a number with a string. However, once again, the input function always returns a string, so we need to first convert number into an integer. So string multiplied by number. However, number needs to be integer, so we use typecasting here to convert number into an integer. And if we run this, so enter a string, let's say apple, and let's say we enter 3. And here we'll have apple, apple, apple. And similarly, if I type A and find, I'm going to get A. Over here, we need to prompt our users for two strings. So let's create our two variables first. So S1 is equals to input, enter first string, and S2 is equals to input, enter second string. And next, we want to print our S1 and S2 in the following pattern. So S1 dash, S2 dash, S1 dash, S2 dash, and S1 dash. So let's try that first. So S1 plus dash plus S2 plus dash plus S1 plus dash plus S2 plus dash plus S1. So let's see if this works. So let's say I enter A and I enter B, and I'm going to get A dash, B dash, A dash, B dash, A. And if I run this for apple and orange, I'm going to get the same thing, apple dash, orange dash, apple dash, orange dash, apple. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this was clear and easy to understand. See you in the next one.